The world watched in disbelief. Germany unleashed its fury upon Poland. The year was 1939. The roar of panzers and the shriek of Stuka dive bombers marked the beginning of a conflict. Peaceful landscapes transformed into battlefields. The thunder of artillery echoed as cities crumbled. The Polish army fought with tenacity, their resistance a testament to their courage. Across the Atlantic, the United States watched with apprehension. The world, yearning for peace, was crumbling. The horrors of the past returned, and the future held uncertainty and dread. The German blitzkrieg, a whirlwind of mechanized warfare, swept across Europe. Denmark and Norway fell. The Netherlands, Belgium and France soon followed suit. The speed and ferocity of the German advance left the world stunned. The skies above Europe became a maelstrom of death and destruction. British Spitfires and Hurricanes engaged in desperate dogfights with German Messerschmitts and Focke-Wulf fighters. The Battle of Britain raged, the air filled with the roar of engines, the whine of diving planes, and the deafening explosions of bombs. On the ground, the relentless German advance seemed unstoppable. The sound of marching boots echoed through the streets of conquered cities. The pungent smell of gunpowder filled the air, a grim reminder of the ongoing conflict. The world held its breath as the Nazi war machine tightened its grip on Europe. In 1941, Hitler, driven by his insatiable ambition, broke his pact with Stalin and unleashed the full fury of the Wehrmacht upon the Soviet Union. Operation Barbarossa, the largest military invasion in history, had begun. The Eastern Front, a vast and unforgiving landscape, became a theatre of unimaginable brutality. The Red Army, caught off guard but not broken, fought back with ferocious determination. From the frozen wastes of Stalingrad to the rubble-strewn streets of Leningrad, the struggle for survival was relentless. The bitter cold, the constant threat of starvation, and the overwhelming firepower of the German army tested the limits of human endurance. The Battle of Stalingrad, a brutal clash of wills, became a turning point in the war. The city, reduced to rubble, became a symbol of Soviet resistance. The German army, bogged down in street fighting and decimated by the harsh winter, suffered a catastrophic defeat. The tide of the war had begun to turn. Section 4. Turning the tide. The year 1944 witnessed the Allied forces, emboldened by hard-won victories, launching a series of offensives that would ultimately break the back of the Nazi war machine. The liberation of France, marked by the iconic D-Day landings on the beaches of Normandy, was a testament to the courage and sacrifice of the Allied soldiers. The sounds of war echoed across the French countryside as Allied troops, supported by a relentless air campaign, pushed eastward. The rumble of tanks, the crackle of gunfire, and the thunderous roar of artillery filled the air. The liberation of Paris, a city yearning for freedom, was a joyous occasion, a beacon of hope in a world still shrouded in darkness. In the Pacific, the United States, engaged in a brutal island-hopping campaign, slowly but surely pushed back the Japanese forces. From the shores of Iwo Jima to the jungles of Okinawa, the fighting was fierce, the casualties heavy. The determination of the Japanese defenders, fueled by a fanatical devotion to their emperor, made every victory a costly one. Section 5. The Pacific Theater, Island, Hopping and Atomic Fury. The Pacific theater of World War II was a different kind of conflict. It was a war of attrition, fought across vast distances on remote islands and in dense jungles. The United States Navy, carrier battle groups prowling the vast expanse of the Pacific, engaged in a deadly game of cat and mouse with the Imperial Japanese Navy. The Battle of Midway, a decisive American victory, turned the tide in the Pacific. The sinking of 4 Japanese aircraft carriers dealt a devastating blow to the Imperial Navy, from which they would never fully recover. The island hopping campaign, a grueling and costly strategy, brought the Americans closer to the Japanese mainland. The battles for Iwo Jima and Okinawa, marked by unimaginable ferocity and heavy casualties on both sides, foreshadowed the horrors that awaited if a full-scale invasion of Japan became necessary. Section 6. A world transformed. The year 1945 brought an end to the deadliest conflict in human history. The world rejoiced as the guns fell silent. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki cast a long shadow over the celebrations. In the aftermath, a new world order emerged. The United Nations offered hope for a more peaceful future. The lessons of World War II continue to resonate today.